Welcome to Teed Up Sports Podcast, your new go-to pod for sports, entertainment, culture, and humor. Today on Teed Up, we recap the Super Bowl, talk about your Super Bowl 54 champs, Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Leak and I'm teed up.
All right, we are back. The Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, have won the Super Bowl.
It's a fact.
Shout out to Malik, man. He deserves it the most. Diehard Chiefs fan. So remember back in the day, he was rooting for fucking Alex Smith to barely beat the Redskins on Monday Night Football.
And then lose to the Titans in a wild card.
Well, then here we are. We were going crazy yesterday. We were at 808 Social with my man Mello here.
Yeah.
We were at the restaurant going crazy, celebrating. Incredible game. The Chiefs, they're the comeback kids, man. They made magic happen again. We were with Ty, we were with Mello, we were just it was lit. We were getting drunk, taking shots, celebrating the game, and I'm not gonna lie, this game there was moments where it looked bad.
There was moments where I was quiet.
Bad.
I was scared.
It did not this game was not smooth at all.
I would look over and Mello would be like, "Yo, we need your energy. Come on, we need your energy."
Nah,
I was shook.
When I was sitting away from you guys, that's when shit
when
started going
bad.
downhill.
Yeah.
And then when I came back, they started winning. So weird coincidence, but man, let's do a quick game recap. Starts off, Chiefs go 3-and-out right away. Mahomes makes 2 bad throws.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like we thought the nerves got to him for a little bit. That was scary. Then all of a sudden, Niners storm down the field. Chiefs defense holds them to a field goal. Then Chiefs come right back, get a touchdown. So 7-3 game. Then Jimmy Garoppolo throws the pick. Yep. And I was like, yo, if Chiefs score a touchdown here, it's game over.
Yeah.
Because they just had that feeling, you know what I mean? They don't. They get a field goal. Then Niners come down, score a touchdown. And then the Chiefs went, it wasn't like 3-and-out, but their drive stalled. The Niners get the ball back. So they got a chance to go up a score here, and they get ball back at halftime. And they had like 19 seconds. They hit 2 big plays. But one of them was Kittle when he had the offensive pass interference, which, in my opinion, it wasn't offensive pass interference.
Glad it was.
Like, they shouldn't have called that, but, like, hey, you know what I mean? I guess I'm glad that they did for my own sake. But, I mean, that was a very controversial call. I know some Niners fans were, like, pissed off about that. But they could have challenged that, if anything.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't use their challenges the whole game, so they had multiple opportunities to, like, challenge that call, but I guess they just didn't.
Shanahan.
Yeah, that's Shanahan for you. Then halftime, whatever. Niners come out, 3-and-out. Chiefs get the ball, like stall drive. Then the Niners started turning up. That's when the game got
a little scary.
That's when the game got ugly. They scored 10 unanswered points. It was 20-10. Fourth quarter hit, because the Niners were killing clock and whatnot, and the Chiefs just weren't getting anything going. Mahomes had he had one pick that was like on like 3rd and 15, which was whatever. But then the Chiefs got a little drive going when it was 20-10, and Mahomes threw a pick. It wasn't really his fault. Tips off Tyreek Hill's hands.
Yeah.
The Niners grab it on that, which was an incredible catch. You got to give credit where it's due. Incredible catch by the cornerback. And I think it was 9 minutes left. Niners had the ball, and they were up 10. And like it looks like it's game over right there.
Yeah, I was like, sheesh.
As soon as that pick happened, I was like, nah, like that can't be the ending. Like there's no way. Like the Mahomes has been way too good all year for that to be like. And Hill has been incredible all year, too, for that to be the ending.
The way it go out, yeah.
And according to ESPN, that was when the 49ers had a 96.1% chance to win the Super Bowl.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
I don't think it was 96% chance, to be honest. But that's what the stats are saying. I would have thought it was like a 85% chance or something like that. Or 90. 96 seems like kind of like crazy.
I guess they figured they were going to run the ball, and the Chiefs, they can't stop the run. So that's probably why it was 96.
Jarny, I mean, you were there for the the Falcons, obviously. Did that you got like reminded of that a little bit?
Deja vu
from Kyle Shanahan's dumbass mistakes.
No, I'd say the 49ers, they did a pretty good job of coming back, but they just couldn't put it all together. Oh man, the Chiefs comeback really showed something. It showed Kyle Shanahan doesn't finish big games, and he's just not a coach that gets it done.
It's a fact.
And the stats, I mean, like I said, the stats show it. He's outscored 46-0 in fourth quarters in the Super Bowl.
Horrible.
46
that's embarrassing.
to 0 in the Super Bowl. I mean, like, the Chiefs outscored them 21-0. And the Pats did their thing, obviously. But, like, that's just bad. Like, and it's kind of taken away from the Chiefs' perspective because, like, the Chiefs scored 2 touchdowns quick as hell.
Yeah.
So you gotta give the Chiefs like a lot of credit for that. And the Niners, like, they couldn't move the ball. Like, they were moving the ball so easily the whole year, and then now they had to like actually get a couple first downs. They weren't making it happen. Mustard, he was like Barry Sanders last week versus the Packers, and then he was nowhere to be found this week.
They didn't even run a lot this whole game. They were scared, man. Shanahan, he was coaching real scared.
Well, I mean, I think their idea was they'd get anything through the air because the Chiefs were playing like anti-run completely.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still got to run the ball. And I mean, when they were down, they couldn't run the ball. Obviously, like at the end of the game, when they were trying to get a touchdown, that obviously they couldn't do it then. But when they were up 10 zip, I mean, they got to get first downs. They weren't doing no jet sweeps or anything, no trickery there. They were just like, I don't know, just like doing basic plays. Emmanuel Sanders made like a good catch, I think. Kittle went off a little bit, but besides from that, it was quiet. It was real quiet. But let's talk about the Chiefs' comebacks because their whole playoff run, and this is what we were talking about the last podcast.
Comeback,
like,
man.
Could this be one of the maybe not the greatest Super Bowl runs?
It's one of the greats though.
It's a good story Super Bowl run, no doubt.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs were down 24-0 to the Texans. They won 51-31. So that's like a 51-7 run. Yeah. that's unbelievable.
Bro, they outscored their opponents 100-14. The whole playoffs like series. Yeah, 100-14, bro.
That's insane.
That's insane.
No, that's insane. They were losing 10 zip to the Titans. They won 35-24, and one of those Titans touchdowns, I believe, was like garbage time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
It was like last minute after Watkins already got the.
So that's like, you know what I mean? That's even crazier run.
So it's like 107.
And then they were down 10, which isn't a lot technically, but in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes left, that's obviously a lot. And they won 31-20. So they went on a fucking 21-0 run in 9 minutes in the Super Bowl. And honestly, it was less than 9 minutes because the Niners still had 2 minutes 30 seconds left. So it was it was like 6 minutes that they got a 21-0 run, which I don't even know how that's possible. But they just made it happen. And I mean, Malik, when they were down 20-10 though, were you nervous? You were nervous.
Hell yeah, bro.
Like, you were tight.
I was only nervous because like if Mahomes was playing good all game and they were down 10, that's different. I wouldn't have been nervous because I've seen him come back 2 times like previous. But Mahomes was looking bad. Like he was overthrowing. He was like getting sacked, throwing out of bounds. It was looking bad. So I was like, damn, this might be game. This was Mahomes' worst game. This was his worst game of his career, like of his NFL career. This is his worst game. He clutched up in the fourth quarter, but like the first 3 quarters, that was his worst performance. I can't think of it. I can't think.
You gotta give it. The 49ers defensive line played that well though.
Yeah, I know. That's why. That's why I was like,
and
this is it.
And even the throws to the flats from Mahomes was getting rushed. The first like 4 or 5 throws in the flats were just completely off. And, like, you just got to give it to the Chiefs. I mean, the 49ers defense were really there, especially the defensive line.
Yeah, they showed up.
Honestly, this is, like, the best Chiefs game, like, I've ever seen. Like, Chiefs as a team. Because it's always, like, one. Yeah. It's always, like, a one-man, you know what I mean? Like, it's always one person carrying. When it's Hill, when it's not Hill, it's Kelsey. When it's not Kelsey, it's Hill. If, like, their defense, like, never showed up until recently. Like, they had literally the worst defense in the NFL for, like, all of last year, basically.
All of last year and, like, the first,
beginning of
9 games of this year.
It was bad for a minute. And then, like, they just started making big plays. Clicking. Like, they got big stops when they needed it. Hill had a good game, and Kelsey had a good game. Damian Williams, I always knew he was a beast.
Yeah,
like,
he bugged out.
When they played the Seahawks last year, what was that, like, week 14 last year?
2 weeks after the Hunt shit, yeah.
That's when I was like, damn, like, this Damian Williams dude is no joke. He stepped up. Frank Clark had the game-sealing sack, which was great. Like, the whole team really showed up for a change because, like, usually it's just, like, Mahomes and Kelsey or Mahomes and Hill, and it's just, like, nobody
Watkins
else.
Had big plays, too.
Yeah, and Watkins. And Watkins, because Sammy Watkins...
Merlin called that, too. Yeah. You remember during the Packers and... what was it? Packers and Niners. He's like, yo, you know who's going to have a good game? He's like, Watkins.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, Hardman, bro. Hardman didn't do shit. Did he even play?
But man, that was just so crazy because Sammy Watkins, like, I was on Twitter, like, Chiefs fans were like, he only shows up for big games.
Oh, he got hurt.
I don't know if that's true. Does that Sammy Watkins only shows up in big games?
For the Chiefs?
I mean,
or like his career?
Maybe his career. That's what they meant. But Chiefs fans were saying that.
had big games. So
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
But he only shows up for the playoffs. Like, is that a thing? Like playoff walk-ins or something? Because I don't know.
but-
not
On Twitter,
really.
they were saying that.
No, not really. Against the Pats, he didn't really do shit.
The Chiefs
Last
just
year?
have so many weapons, so just
Yeah,
like
that's
so he
true.
doesn't
it
get looked
depends
at.
who's coming in that day.
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins would be like number 2 on any team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not
Number 3
guarding
there.
Sammy Watkins one-on-one, so eventually he's going to get open.
Yeah, Richard Sherman got burned
Oh, dude.
a bunch of times. Like, it was bad. Like, they were frying him on Twitter. And Darrelle Revis and him have had a beef or something like that, apparently, because Darrelle Revis said he's ready to flame him. But, yeah, they were beefing on Twitter because I guess Darrelle Revis was saying he's better than Richard Sherman, or Richard Sherman, like, has been playing too much zone. And Darrelle Revis, like, took that as offense because, like, you know, he always played man. And Richard Sherman was like, well, I'm going to the Super Bowl, so, like, I don't even got to hear what you got to say. But Darrelle Revis got the last laugh because Richard Sherman basically got, like, the game-sealing play on him. He got burned by Sammy Watkins. And, I mean, I feel bad for Richard Sherman because, like, it was a good story, you know what I mean? But he had a bad game. After having such a good one last week, too, where it was, like, the story was all about him coming back. And it was like the battle of the former Seahawks for him versus Frank Clark. And they were both talking a bunch of shit, and Frank Clark got the last laugh. Frank Clark was going crazy.
Bro, I was getting a little nervous, yo. I was like, yo, you got to chill, bro.
Speaking of nervous, Ty, you had the over 50. You bought points. How are you feeling that whole game?
Ty's lucky, bro. Ty, you were
so
lucky as hell, bro.
How are you feel about that, Ty?
I ain't gonna lie. Like, at one point, I think it was like 10-10. And I think it was halftime or some shit.
Yeah.
This shit not looking good. But then when the fourth quarter came, I don't know, it just started bugging, and it was a miracle that they cashed because when I took the regular over, got beat.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 50,
like
4, right?
54.
54. Yeah, that's Carlos took that. It was slow for him.
That's experience betting with them buying points right there.
Ty had the intel. He had the intel. No, but I mean, that last second touchdown by Damian Williams, technically he should have kneeled it or something, because the only way the 49ers could have came back is if they got a touchdown quick, then an onside kick or something like that.
Yeah.
But hey, fuck it. Like, if you're going to talk shit in the Super Bowl, and he had a chance to win Super Bowl MVP with doing that.
That's why he wanted that.
Yeah, he wanted Super Bowl
touchdown.
MVP. But do you think he got robbed of winning Super Bowl MVP?
I wouldn't be mad. Mahomes, that's what I was saying. Mahomes didn't really have a good game until the fourth quarter. But I wouldn't be mad if they gave it to him. But I feel like they gave it to Mahomes out of respect.
Yeah, that's what
Like,
I said last podcast.
without Mahomes, that fourth quarter wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, not at all.
Like, so he's he runs that team.
And that 3rd and 15 play was like, what, 44 yards to Hill?
That was crazy.
Like, you kind of deserve MVP off that throw alone. Like, that was insane.
This dude took he
got
dropped back
too.
11 steps. You saw that?
Did he really?
I didn't realize until I count because I forgot who said it. It was like someone said it, and I was like, was it really 11 steps? I looked, this dude's just going back. I was like, yo, what's good with him?
I mean, that D-line, like, Bosa was everywhere.
That's why he did that. That's why he did that.
If the Niners won, Bosa could have won Super Bowl MVP because he was everywhere, which that would have sucked. But, I mean, Bosa, he's not going to the White House, which is good. Bosa's not going to see his boy Trump. But, yeah, man, could the Chiefs be a dynasty? Because they got Mahomes locked up for, 3 more years after this, right?
This is the start of a dynasty.
They got everyone. Who are they losing after this year, though? Frank Clark is gone, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or they got to pay him or something like that.
They would have to pay him.
It's Kelsey and Hill are good.
They're good for
the time being. Is Watkins a free agent? I feel like his time's up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
They definitely have the weapons all the way around, though.
Yeah.
And Matthew's only going to get better. Tyron's only going to get better.
Let's see.
Terrell Suggs is going to be a free agent, which makes sense.
They just got him a couple games ago.
Whatever.
So.
McCoy, he's probably going to retire. Breedland, I'm not sure they're worried about Breedland. Kendall Fuller.
Emmanuel, Chris Jones, they're going to have to pay him.
David Wells.
Emmanuel, they might not pay him. They're going to pay Sherman.
Demarcus Robinson is whatever. It's all like...
They're going to pay Jones and Sherman. That's about it.
And
they still got Spencer Ware, bro. That's just funny to me.
Morris Claiborne. Wasn't he on the Jets for a minute?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
They got Kendall Fuller.
But you gotta repeat that, Journey. Like, fucked up.
Sherman won't get paid.
I feel like the 49ers will pay him out of respect, to be honest.
I don't know.
No, he had a miserable game. No way.
That's one game. I mean,
it's the Super Bowl.
He's like He's not.
Bro,
He's not the
he
reason
showed
they're
his
there.
age that whole night. There's no way.
Well, I think he's a free agent too right now, Sherman. I don't know who would pick him up though.
He's not coming back.
I think he might get picked up from some team just on a
Yeah.
veteran aspect, but it was definitely a make or break game. Like,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it
for
was.
him.
because he would have definitely been on top as one of the best like DBs, like on a little bit of a list if he would have did any type of even just a little bit better than he did now. Because
Yeah.
it was like kind of horrendous.
And if the 49ers won the Super Bowl, you know how teams when they win the Super Bowl, they go on like a spending spree. They just give everybody their money
Yeah.
like out of respect. He would have got money out of respect, like probably like $30 million or something like that, just out of respect. But
Even talking about money, I think Nick Bosa just showed us all season like that kid is here to stay. That kid is
well,
Yeah,
he's on
that
the,
kid is
he's on that
incredible.
rookie deal too, and he's like he's honestly such a beat. Like I really don't like Nick Bosa at all. Like, but not like from a player aspect, he's a monster.
yeah. You gotta have that kid on your
Yeah.
team.
Like he's just a monster. And the Niners kind of showed that like they were so bad last year, and they like tanked to like perfection.
Yeah,
Because they were
OD.
so bad that they
OD.
that they got like a guy like Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald for free. Like they didn't even have to pay Nick Bosa; they literally just got him.
Tank to perfection.
That,
That's
they
the
did, they
perfect way to
did,
put it.
because like now they got everybody back. They got Garoppolo back. They basically got like two good players just from tanking. You know what I mean? And I mean, you look at a team like the Bears; they paid Khalil Mack all this money, and like they're kind of stuck with him now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They don't got a quarterback. They don't have other receivers. So look, the Niners are in a good spot. You know what I mean? Their division's hard. The chances of them winning the division next year are slim. They got a good coach. I mean, granted, we've been shitting on Shanahan the whole podcast, but like he's still a good coach. He
still-
still got him
But
to
he's
this
just
point.
idiotic. He doesn't stick with his plan ever.
Ever.
All he
Yeah.
does is switch it up. You got Raheem that's been killing the whole playoffs, and all of a sudden you want to have Jimmy Garoppolo come out and start just straight throwing the ball when there's no need to. Like I could understand like if you want to do third down, whatever it may be, but Raheem the whole game was just having electric plays,
Yeah.
especially even the flats and coming in. He would run for like 20 yards on just like one little behind the line of scrimmage throws.
Mm-hmm.
Like stick with the plays that you have. Like why would you even?
He just got scared. And in the like pre when they have like the interviews before the Super Bowl, he said he's going to be aggressive. Like he's going to like if we have our opportunities, like we're going to seize it. And at halftime or before halftime, they weren't even taking like deep shots or anything. I mean, granted they had the Kittle play, but it was OPI. But like there was like they did what 2 runs in a row for like nothing,
Yeah.
and then they got blessed by like a crazy Deebo Samuel run. It was just like he just made a bunch of mistakes. But I mean the Niners will be back. I don't know if they're gonna be back in the Super Bowl, but they'll be back in the playoffs at least sometime soon. I mean, like I said, their division's hard. They got the Rams there, and the Rams are gonna be back probably next year, maybe in the Super Bowl next year. And then
crazy,
then we
Kev.
got the Seahawks. Who are, I mean, you can never count Russell Wilson out of anything. He'll
Seahawks
always
going
find a
before
way.
the Rams.
Nah, I'm telling you, bro.
Seahawks will
This-
go back to the Super Bowl.
We'll
before
save it for the summer. You know what I mean? But the Rams,
I think the Rams and the Saints are completely hot garbage.
the Saints,
what I think
are.
so,
The Rams
too.
aren't garbage.
Rams.
The Rams are so
can't
unfortunate.
Rams
bet
are,
the
they're just beat.
They had an unfortunate ending.
They got so many emotional problems on that team.
That's true. But right now, you look at the AFC, like we're talking about the Chiefs dynasty. The AFC kind of sucks if you think about it. It's just Lamar, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be that guy who like counts out the Pats every year and whatnot, but like Brady announced that he's staying with the Pats via Hulu. Like he had that little commercial. I don't know if that's exactly what it meant because he didn't sign the contract. Once the contract signed, that's when he
then
stayed.
It's official,
But I mean,
it was like a hint. He gave a hint out there.
Jarny, how you feeling about Brady like staying with the Pats? You feel like that's a good move, or you want to move on or get someone like you know what I mean?
I don't think any
Potentially
Pats
good.
fan wants to move on.
I personally was ready to move on from Brady.
I would be too.
I believe we're scheduled to give him $30 million.
A year, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's bad.
I'd rather save the money and focus on new guys, but I don't think that's the route we're going to take. So hopefully we get Brady back and sign some receivers.
Yeah, I mean,
So
They
with
need to
you
do
getting
something.
Brady back, isn't there talks like Patriots getting Odell and like all this crazy?
well, that would be through trade. Well, they'd have to throw away assets in a trade.
Yeah.
I mean, the Browns might give away Odell for free if they're really like
Down
they're really
bad.
upset.
You're coming off a 2-touchdown season, you might as well.
I don't know. Dude, Odell. I can't even get.
Bro, yeah.
That whole LSU thing was just so fucking funny. But so the Chiefs got the Ravens. The Chargers got rid of Rivers.
Yeah, cut him. Get
So
him out
if the
of
Chargers get like Winston, or they get even if Tyrod Taylor works out, like the Chargers like are a threat because they're in your division. But I don't know if they're gonna be like
there. Ain't no damn threat.
Their defense is good. Their whole team is good except Phillip Rivers. So you take away Phillip Rivers, they got a chance.
Yeah, there's good quarterbacks in this draft though, so they could probably.
That's true. Yeah,
I thought like I seen a mock draft that Justin Herbert from Oregon might be going over there.
Justin,
know how I feel. You know how I feel about my boy.
Hey, Justin Herbert played like shit versus Wisconsin though. I know
He
you
did.
see that.
A lot of people play like shit against Wisconsin.
No, they got that good defense. But so you're not scared of like any teams in the future besides the Ravens, I guess.
The Ravens. That's it. That's it.
No, the Browns.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on.
I'll be Ravens San Diego.
It's Ravens.
I would
In
say,
order, it would be Ravens, Texans, and then Chargers.
I'm not scared of the Texans. I wouldn't be worried about the Texans at all because I feel like they fuck
bold
up.
Nah,
You gotta
Deshaun
be-
Watson's crazy,
Nah,
bro.
they signed Bill O'Brien to be the general manager. So like that's horrible. Like Bill O'Brien's making like
Word, that is
executive
bad.
decisions now. I doubt that ends out well.
Nah,
I really
that's
doubt
true.
that works
I've
out.
never seen anybody that goes worse and worse as a coach. He always gets a promotion. From Penn State to fucking NFL to now
He's a
in
general
like how you in the
manager.
front office.
He got. I mean, I don't. He was up 24-0, so they probably looked at that and
they're
they're like,
like,
they
yeah.
froze that moment in time. We're like, hey, Bill O'Brien, it can't get worse from there, right?
He's the most non-result getting guy, but always gets a pat on the back.
I have no. He's the GM of the Texans.
Bro,
I don't know how.
No, it's because he's like the face. Isn't he like the face of like all that is like what's he like? He gives money away. If, like doesn't his son
He's-
like have some shit? I don't
He's just
know.
like the. I don't know. They just like it's rich people like Bill O'Brien. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
rich owners love Bill O'Brien because he's just like a good dude. But like fans fucking can't stand him because he sucks. He's like Jason Garrett. You know what I mean? Like Jerry Jones loves Jason Garrett because that's probably like his boy. But like fans fucking hate Jason Garrett. But let me not talk about my offensive coordinator like that.
Nah, that's a fact. That's
Not
a
yet.
I forgot he's
Let me
your
not- yeah,
offensive
let me not
coordinator,
talk about him like that. Because he's gonna have a really good year. Number one offense last year. That's all I'm gonna
bro.
say. Let's talk about some of these prop bets. Jarny, how'd you do on your prop bets last night? You said you had the national anthem, the Gatorade. How'd you do?
He
I
said,
lost every single bet I placed, and I don't want to talk about it.
he said the fucking Gatorade was orange.
The Gatorade had no business being orange.
You
I will
tell
say
me
that.
who drinks orange Gatorade.
It had no business.
I'm a big
It had no.
Gatorade
It
guy.
had no
Team
business
that
being
I
orange.
like
drinks
orange
I'm a
Gatorade.
big orange Gatorade
Nah,
guy.
that Gatorade did not have any business being orange.
I
so.
thought it was gonna be yellow.
It was supposed to be yellow or
Yeah.
purple for Kobe. That was the original thing.
Oh, I didn't know
Or
that.
it was supposed to be red because both teams' main colors are red. It had no business being orange.
Nah,
So I'm
orange
sorry,
is
Jordan.
random.
I feel you on that.
Nah, that's
That
yeah,
no
that was
business.
What's yellow and purple together? Is that orange?
That could.
bad. Yo, if that's how he lost,
That would suck. That would suck. But who's mixing Gatorade flavors?
Nah,
that can't
yeah,
be.
that
Nah,
is-
yeah.
Fraud.
That's a little too reckless.
AB's
But
ball boy had to mix up all the Gatorade.
that makes it. That's AB.
Nah,
though.
that's AB,
Hey,
yeah.
That's AB. He's a lunatic. The national anthem. Johnny, what'd you have for the national anthem? I got to hear it. What was your thought process going into the national anthem?
yeah, he said he don't want to talk
So
about it.
before I touched the national anthem, I listened to 5 Demi Lovato national anthems. The average of those 5 was 2 minutes and 5 seconds. That was her average. I bet the over 2 minutes and 4 seconds. That shit was, she freestyled that shit, man. She started rapping from the first word. That was the fastest anthem I've ever seen.
She
Yeah,
went
she was
hard.
flying
She
by.
was like Busta
literally
Rhymes.
rapping the freestyle.
She
That
was
shit,
definitely on
that
cocaine
shit
on
was
that
a
one.
minute and 51 seconds.
Yo,
She's
So-
infamous for being off cocaine during the national anthem.
yeah, you should have thought about that.
I saw on Twitter, like earlier that the intel was coming out that like it was gonna be under, like anything under 2 minutes was like a lock because I guess people just found out, you know what I mean, like through the rehearsals and whatnot. So I have no idea, but that was an under. So let's talk about the props that we had on the podcast. So will AB tweet during the Super Bowl? We pretty much all had yes, but he didn't,
And he didn't. Yeah.
which was weird because he posted on Instagram during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't get like what you just.
And the day before the Super Bowl, he was tweeting OD.
His agent might have just like deleted the app off his
Yeah.
phone. He was probably looking for it and just couldn't find it. Like, because he posted on Instagram. I guess AB's like trying to turn a page now. He's being like really nice
trying
and,
to.
and he's like showing his family and stuff. So
So
I don't know.
Juju
Maybe it's
said
good.
unblock me.
That
Juju said unblock me.
Juju sounds like a salty ex. This is so funny. Will the Chiefs score in every quarter? We all had yes,
And they didn't.
and they didn't.
They scored
they
every
fucked up in
quarter
the third
but the
quarter.
third.
Yeah, which whatever happens. And they probably would have had Mahomes not thrown that, or Hill. It was Hill's fault. Hill had like that little tip pass.
Yeah.
Successful 2-point conversion? No, hell no. One wasn't even attempted, so that didn't hit. This was the worst beat. I took a beating on this one. How many TikToks will Patrick Mahomes' brother make over under 5.5? I didn't know you could even make that many TikToks.
This dude made over
Dude
5
made like 8 TikToks.
in a day.
Wasn't it like some craziness before the first half?
Yeah,
He had like 4 already first half.
He had 4 before the game even tipped off.
That's insane.
And it was, and in the betting description it said the day of the Super Bowl, so it wasn't like
yeah,
during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was like day of the Super Bowl. So I guess that was like my own fault. I should have figured he was gonna make like at least 2 thirst traps before the Super Bowl.
He did have a thirst trap.
He was taking his shirt off, singing some crazy, I don't even know what song, but. And then they won the Super Bowl, and he did like 3 TikToks after that of him and like the confetti and whatnot. If they lost the Super Bowl, he probably would have had 5 flat. That would have won the bet, but it is what it is. How many times will the Patriots' 28-3 comeback be mentioned? You would have thought they would have mentioned it at least once.
I don't get how they didn't.
They didn't. They didn't mention that at all, which makes no sense because they had a comeback too.
I feel like they had to.
They might have on the low.
They had to.
Like
I didn't hear anything
after
about
the game
it.
though. I don't know
Yeah.
because like you would think right, but I guess like they wanted like an actual like graphic or whatever. Like they wanted to be like really mentioned.
Yeah.
And they didn't say the words Patriots 28-3 comeback. Like they did not say those words. So I have no idea how that happened. Will Nike release a commercial with Colin Kaepernick?
I knew that was a no. Yeah.
I thought Nike was gonna grow some balls. I was wrong.
Nike and Donald Trump had a commercial.
That's fine. Yeah, that's insane.
Donald
That's
Trump had an
crazy.
all-black releasing motherfuckers from jail commercial. You seen that?
Yeah.
It was vote for Trump and Pence. It was all brothers and sisters on there. And somebody's grandma just got released from prison.
That's
yeah,
insane.
someone's grandma.
This dude Trump. This was a bet that we all won. You know what I mean? Even if you didn't bet this, you won. Will Shakira and J-Lo twerk during the halftime show? And the description said both must twerk for yes to be graded the winner. Twerk is defined as a dance move involving thrusting hip movements and a low squatting stance. Yes won. They both did a little twerk. The whole bar went crazy when we saw that.
Some people are looking at us crazy though.
But not everyone erupted for that. Everyone erupted because we knew what was up.
Yeah,
Like that was a lock. Plus 200. You can't get that anywhere. They were gonna twerk, obviously. Duh. Somebody said on the podcast that they weren't gonna twerk. I don't remember who it was. Who said that they weren't gonna twerk last week?
I think it was Johnny. Didn't you say that?
Somebody said that they
It was
weren't
Johnny,
gonna
bro.
twerk.
Yeah, I
Johnny-
think Johnny. He said they weren't
Johnny
going to
was
twerk.
rooting for them to not twerk. You should have bet that,
Yeah.
Johnny.
They made their careers off.
Plus
twerking.
200.
they got a whole career off that.
Plus 200. They started twerking, bro. I can't believe that. This was a bad beat. Which commercial will come up first? Doritos or Pop-Tarts?
I thought.
I almost sold my car to bet Doritos, and
Glad
thank
we-
God I didn't. Because Pop-Tarts, they had the pretzel Pop-Tart. Who would have ever thought pretzel Pop-Tart?
Pretzel Pop-Tart.
Doritos.
They couldn't wait to show
I don't
that.
think Doritos had a commercial.
I didn't see a Doritos
That's
commercial
crazy.
at all.
Doritos getting way
down
too cocky.
bad,
They're
man.
getting way too cocky. First, they
No, Doritos had a commercial. It was late though.
Sheesh.
all right, that's a little respectable because
Yeah.
they didn't even have because they've been doing the ads with no name, which is like chill out,
Yeah.
like chill out. You're not even like that, like you know what I mean. Like there's still other tortilla chips, like you know what I mean. You could get confused, but Pop Tarts, the pretzel Pop Tart plus 200 winner, plus 170. But I mean, still, that was a lock. I can't believe I didn't like. I could have just like dropped out of school if I put enough money on that. I should have known the Pop Tarts were gonna win. And then the passing yards, Mahomes went under 305 and 305.5, and Garoppolo went under 239.5. So that was just like all over. It was like a slow pace, well, slow for the props. Like everyone lost those props, and Mahomes had his rushing yards. I think was like 29.5 or something like that, and he had like 40. But on those kneel downs, you remember when he was kneeling down, he dropped
Yeah.
back like 8 steps to kneel down for
Yeah.
whatever reason. I don't know why he was doing that, but he did. And he lost a bunch of yards that way, so the rushing props went under for Mahomes too. Damian Williams had the most touchdowns, so if you bet like Damian Williams 2+ touchdowns, I think it was like plus 700 or something like that.
Sheesh.
He went crazy. First touchdown of the game was Mahomes, which was like 14-1.
Yeah.
Kyle Juszczyk had a touchdown. So I mean, hey, if you do good on the Super Bowl, it was a weird all the unders hit basically. The actual game under hit. And then if you got Chiefs like during the live bet, they were like what plus 300 at one point. So
Yeah.
so they were killing it too. that's all we got for the Super Bowl, though. Let's get into some best bets. First of all, Malik, congratulations for your Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Thank you. Thank you.
We were turning up last night because I was rooting for the Chiefs, man. I can't lie. I was rooting for the Chiefs.
The whole night, yo.
That was well deserved. Give us like a little speech on this year. All the doubters, week 5.
Listen, man.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Where you at, Jarny? Where you at, Jarny? I can't even say shit because they got fucking 6 rings.
Let's hear it.
I can't. They got 6 rings, so I can't even say shit.
Where were you at? Where were you at?
We finally got 1 now, so I'm happy. I'm happy with that, man. 5 more to come to reach y'all, and we'll get that 5. Don't worry, it's the start of a dynasty. So
I feel like 2 more. 5. I feel like 2 more. 5 is.
Hey, 2 more. I'm
Slow
fine
down.
with that too.
Yeah, not 2 more. 2 more is
I
definitely.
gotta say, one of my best bets on the podcast, so I never forget it.
What?
I have a best bet with Matt Humphrey, $1,000 that the 49ers don't make it back to the Super Bowl next year.
Bro, and he really took that bet.
$1,000?
He really took that bet.
$1,000.
Matt was real?
Bet.
Yeah,
I
Matt
don't
was
know
like,
why he gave me that bet, but he said put up $1,000, and I said why not?
he's done.
I don't think he's gonna give you $1,000.
I mean, he said he's gonna give it to someone for them to hold
If
it.
he doesn't, the podcast, hey, it's
on-
on
yeah,
the
it's here. It's
podcast,
documented.
so
So it's live airs.
Nah, that's a free 1,000, but I doubt you're gonna see that money. So you better get some hitmen ready or something like that. Get some mob bosses involved because you're gonna have to come collect soon. You should get a contract for that, Journey. You could do that. You could write out a contract and then it's like
That
official
shit
by law.
notarized.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you might have to.
you really might have to like
I might just do that.
You might
You
have
have
to.
to. He has to sign it.
I got a whole year to prep.
Facts. Get ready. Get ready, because I would get that for 1,000. Because I don't know if I don't think he means that. He'd have to sign that too. You got to get a video of him signing it. That should be like.
Nah, yeah, he's not
that's like a
doing
max
that.
contract.
Yeah.
Let's get us our best bets for today, though. Let's do a quick record recap. So, you didn't have the Chiefs, right?
No.
Ty didn't have the Chiefs either for this. I'm the only
No.
one who bet the Chiefs on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I won that, but I lost my 2 NBA bets. So my record's 70-55. Jarny had the Niners. He lost 24-29. Malik won his NBA bets, and Ty lost his 1 NBA bet. Malik's 75-55. Ty's 44-20. Malik, what's your best bet?
I'm only gonna stick with 1. I got Heat minus 2.5 against Philly. I'm loving that, man. I don't know. I feel like the league sleeps on the Heat. Like, why are they only
Vegas
2.5?
sleeps on the Heat.
I mean,
They're
Philly's
disrespectful.
nice and all, but
I mean,
I don't know,
they're not.
man.
Well, they still don't have Josh Richardson. They got Embiid and whatnot still, so I guess that's a little scary. But they don't have Josh Richardson.
I
He's
don't
like
know, man.
he's like the heart and soul of that team.
he just
And they just got whooped by
he
the
just
Celtics.
play so good together, man. They know what they're doing.
They got whooped by the Celtics. Like they shot what, like 8 of 44 on jump shots or something like that. I don't even know how that's possible. They got whooped though. Mello, what's your best
Yeah,
bet?
this happens when you play top five.
Yo,
So,
here we
I'm not even
go.
hearing that. I'm not even hearing that. What do you got for your best bet, Mello?
I got UNC busting down on Florida State. Cole Anthony, second game back. Garrison Brooks, lottery pick.
Armando.
Armando the God. I see these boys coming in going hard. Florida State is shaky, man. Every time I see these dudes play, they're just shaky, and I can't respect nobody from Florida.
Wait, is that like a valid bet?
UNC plus 9. I fuck with it. I like Cole Anthony, and this is his second game back, so he's gonna be like probably starting. He wasn't starting last game. He dropped 26 last game, which is insane.
Not even starting.
They lost to Boston College, which is like kind of yikes, but I mean plus 9.
Yeah,
they might
plus
not win,
9.
but plus 9 at college is a little disrespectful. And I got a rule of thumb for college: only bet on blue teams, and there's one exception every year. So you can only bet on like Seton Hall, Villanova, UNC, Kentucky, Duke, Kansas. Like those are the only teams you could bet on. Like if you can't bet on like, you know what I mean, like the Gophers or some shit. Like you're not betting on Minnesota. You're not betting on anybody. There's only one exception every year though. So the question is, you got to find that exception. Last year the exception was UVA. This year I don't really have an exception yet. I'm still trying to find one. But it's just, you got to follow the blue rule. To only bet on blue teams. I don't know why. It works. It works for me. That's the only way I do decent in college basketball. Otherwise, I would be dead in the water. No doubt.
I can tell you two college basketball teams you can bet on every time, and you're going to win majority of the time. Butler is one of them.
Butler's been going hard.
And then Oregon is another one.
Oregon got smoked recently.
Why you like
right.
Oregon so much? You like Oregon football team too, right?
I'm
That's
Oregon
it.
to I'm a duck to the dying.
He's a duck.
Flying V.
He's a duck for life.
That's it. Pritchard is coming to the league, playing for the Westchester Knicks.
Nah, that sounds so accurate. Like he really would be one of the greatest Westchester Knicks of all time.
Ever.
Bro.
Better than Jimmer Fredette on the Knicks, Westchester Knicks, I'm telling you.
Jimmer Fredette.
Watch out for this boy.
That game winner was crazy though. That game winner was crazy. I can't lie.
Speaking of Knicks, how's Kenny doing on the Knicks?
Kenny Wu, hey, that's a player I like. He's in the league now. Technically, he hasn't played yet, but he's like riding the bench and stuff. So they're gonna call him up.
I don't
he's
like
on the
how
roster. You know what I mean?
He got a higher vertical than Zion. I'll tell you that right now.
Wu,
Seriously?
he can't score for shit though.
He can't score.
His
Just throw that ball up. Though.
He's just like a athletic freak, but he can't do anything.
He's like a JaVale McGee.
But JaVale actually got some offense to him because you could throw a lob, JaVale will get it. Like Kenny, he's not.
Kenny's catching lobs. Kenny's catching lobs.
Bro, last year he was dropping like 2 a game in March Madness.
I don't like how the Knicks are trying to get D'Lo, man. They can't send my boy over there to die like that.
He wouldn't die. He'd succeed. He'd
the
thrive.
Knicks?
Yeah, him Morris.
Ty, how you feel about
Bobby
D'Lo
Portis.
to the Knicks?
That's a fire look. You can't hate on D'Lo.
I think that's a good pickup for the Knicks. And honestly, like Knicks need something.
Is it good for his career though? That's what I'm saying.
And honestly, I feel like it starts at the top. They got to start at the top first and then work their way down, taking out them upper heads because they're kind of stupid. But this is a good. If they do get D'Lo, that's a great pickup. You see what he did with the Nets. So for me, I don't know. He like being in New York.
Word, he do like New York a lot.
As soon as we get rid of Randall, as soon as we get rid of
Randall
these dudes,
John.
like we got
Dennis.
the AB Mello fucking thing he marketed. Get Dennis back to North Carolina.
Nah, Dennis.
He said
I
back
hate
to
Dennis
North
Smith Jr.
Carolina.
I hate
Wherever
Dennis
you
Smith
fucking
Jr.
from.
I
I'm
hate
He
good.
is
Dennis
from
Smith
North
Jr. He's horrible. Hey, we beat the Pacers though recently. That was a good win. That was a good team. We
We
got a little
Dennis
win.
Smith Jr.
I'm telling y'all, we got a little win streak coming. Not that it matters, but we got like the Cavs. Then we got the Magic at home. Then we got the Wizards. We got a nice little win streak coming, and it's gonna start tonight. I got best bet Knicks plus 2.5 versus the Cavs. The Cavs are like they kind of beat us a lot, but it's just a numbers game. It's a 50-50 game. You gotta take the plus 2.5. You know what I mean? The Knicks, we're the better team when everything is going right. So I'm gonna take it. When we got Randall and Morris and whatever, we actually got starters. The Cavs are like actively tanking. Like they literally try to lose games on purpose. Like they just lost by 40 to the Warriors, and the Warriors weren't even trying. So gotta take the Knicks plus 2.5. I'm gonna take the Heat minus 2.5. Jimmy Butler's been in his bag recently. Like he's been starting to like, you know what I mean, take over the team, starting to become like the alpha of the team. He already was, but he wasn't really like showing it. I like what the Heat are doing, and Heat basically unbeatable at home. They always win at home. I don't know how they only have 2 losses this year at home, but they're gonna start figuring it out. They're gonna beat the Sixers, and the Sixers, fun fact, they're one of the worst road teams in the NBA. They have more road losses than the Timberwolves and the Kings. It's a fun fact. It's bad. It's a bad look out there. Pacers minus 5. They're just the Pacers are a good team right now. Like they're getting everything right. I think Oladipo's starting to get his minutes right too, so I think he's gonna start getting like 30 minutes a game. They're a good team right now. Like you got to fuck with the Pacers right now. And then I'm going with Melo on this one. UNC plus 9. It's the blue rule for college. You know what I mean? And plus, with Cole Anthony back, like when they didn't have Cole Anthony, they were literally garbage. But they got an actual point guard. It's gonna be lit now. Trust me. Plus 9. They could win the game, but I'm taking the plus 9. Ty, what do you got for your best bets for tonight?
I got Celtics at the Hawks, man. I'm going to take Jason Tatum over 23.5 points. Jaylen Brown over 22.5 points. This is simple. We going into the Hawks, one of the worst defensive teams in the league. And no one's going to guard them. Kimba's out, Smart's out, means more shots for Tatum and Brown. This is a no-brainer.
Tatum's got 23.5, Brown's 22.5.
Yes, sir.
All right, and Kemba's out too. That's
bad.
Hawks. I'm feeling the Hawks. They've been getting
On
right.
on air bet.
No. Yeah, what's the word, Ty?
He's not feeling the Hawks at all.
I'll take the Hawks for like 15.
What, the spread?
I'm going to make sure on that.
He said hit you on that.
All right, that's all we got for today, though. Congratulations to Chiefs for winning the Super Bowl, man.
No bets, Johnny?
He said he's only got that on air bet with Matt.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, Johnny, you want an NBA bet or anything?
I'm done. I am done with betting. I'll see you guys in fucking
Yesterday,
August.
killed this shit.
If only the Gatorade was yellow, man.
I'm telling you, it was yellow and purple.
It's only the Gatorade was fucking yellow.
The Gatorade was orange.
You want that? Find that yellow and purple mix.
Wait, but you won the coin flip at least, right? You said tails lock on your story.
No, I didn't touch that.
Alright, good.
Bro, he said, "What is
Good.
Demi doing?" He said, "What is she doing?"
Bro, I texted Jardy while she was saying brave. I said anti-lock. He said anti. Nah, you gotta write Debbie Lovato like a letter, Jardy. That's bad. She's fucked up for that. She stretched the brave out too for no reason.
Literally for the fucking MLB playoffs, her brave was exactly 5 seconds long. This past weekend, her brave was 1 second. How the fuck do you go from that to that?
She likes the MLB, man. MLB is more patriotic. I don't know.
She was freestyling that shit.
She just fucking with the MLB. But yeah, baseball season's around the corner. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm definitely that guy. I'm that guy where like as soon as football season ends, like, oh, you know what's next? Like the weather's getting warmer. Like get ready for the Reds to be on. Get ready for that. And the Reds, don't sleep on the Reds this year, Mello. The Reds are nice. They got Castellanos. They have a pitching staff. Watch out for the Reds this year. Reds, Phillies, Yankees, World Series.
LGM.
I'm going to some Mets games this year. You got to every year. Thank you guys as always for listening, though. Be sure to follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at TU Sports Pod. Posting tons of content there. Just follow us there. And be sure to listen to us, give feedback, rate 5 stars, wherever it is, however you get it. We are always there on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, wherever. Just search up Tito Sports Podcast, and we will be there. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. I'm Brock, and I'm out.
I'm League Chiefs 2020 Super Bowl champs. I'm out.
I'm tying them out.
Mello 808. Shout out to you.
Johnny wherever.
Go, Charlie.
I'm Johnny everywhere and anywhere, and I'm out.